Hello all, Moose here. I've been working with that dash cam I have on my bike. I actually went riding yesterday with it and had an epic fail. It didn't work. So I came back and I got on a dash cam talk forum, I guess. And I saw a gentleman there who's having the same issues I was with the camera, and he'd been talking back and forth with a rep from the company, I believe, that made the camera. And throughout that whole conversation they had on there, I found through what this guy tried trial and error. His name was Don. I don't have the last name, and I wouldn't want to put that on here anyways. Just might not want that out there. But Don had taken the firmware from the BulletHd Mate, which is the one below the one I have. It's basically the camera without Wi-Fi on it, so it doesn't have the app and the Wi-Fi button. And he put that on his, and he said it worked, which means basically the firmware they have out right now for the BulletHd Biker Pro has glitches in it and causes it to lock up the camera a lot. I've done a lot of extensive testing over last night and today with an external power source and with the power source off the bike for startup and stop. And I found that the firmware for the Mate, the one without Wi-Fi, does actually work like Don intended it, said it did. So I put that on there and I tested it and tested it and tested it, and all my footage plays. I have none of them that didn't play. Whereas before when I did it, I'd have 3 or 4 that maybe didn't play, wouldn't work. So basically right now the unit doesn't have Wi-Fi on it, which is fine by me as long as the damn thing works. The company assures us that they're working on a new firmware update, and apparently they are, because the firmware update that I put on the camera originally when I got it is no longer available through the company. It goes to a page that says not available, 404. So they're obviously working on the situation and trying to fix it. It's supposed to be out later on this next week, so when it comes out I'll put it in and try it and see how it works. I'm assuming it really is a big problem, because even with the app, when I had it on, the app would lock up, which means basically the camera locked up. So something they did with the Wi-Fi caused the issue, and I'm sure we're going to have a few more bugs to fix. It's a fairly new system. It hasn't been out that long on the market, I don't think. A few years maybe. But I'll show you what I did on the bike. I got it mounted all about 2 weeks ago, and I never did a video on that, so here it is. There's the main unit right there, and actually sticky mounted onto the bike. It has a mount you can take it off with right here, but you got to undo this mount to do so with an Allen screw to get the cables out, because that holds the cables in, so it's not really meant to come off now real easy. Then I ran the cables on mine. I took the whole headlight assembly apart, and I put everything inside here and wired it up to the ignition through a wire that's on hot when the ignition's on. So everything went down through, and it hid the camera behind my fairing, which is right there. I have it off right now for because I'm working on this. Takes a little micro SD memory card right there, and you know, it's a little hard to get out even when the fairing's off. I'll have to sort through that. And then I ran the cables back up through the system of the headlight assembly, ran it back out here, the HDMI cable, and ran it down to the camera right here, which I mounted right near my auxiliary lighting. And I used a GoPro mount, actually. I didn't use the mount that came with the camera, because I needed a curved mount that would fit the bike a little better. And they do use basically the same mount, like I said in my video originally. So yeah, there's the camera. And I can turn it on for you, but there's no memory card on it, so it's going to beep. But basically you'll be able to see how the lights light up on this. See how they glow? And it's going to tell me I don't have a memory card. So it's going to blink saying no memory card, basically. But now the system is working. That little red light there blinks when the camera's turned on, and recording blinks a lot slower than that. But yeah, basically there's no memory card, so it's saying there's no memory card. So yeah, right now, if anybody's watching this and they have one of these, the Wi-Fi, and they're having issues with it, I encourage you to go and get the firmware update from the Mate instead and throw it on there. One thing you'll have to do, though, according to the website, is format that SD card for FAT32, not exFAT, which means you have to use a different formatter than what your computer will have on it, most likely, because most of those format in NTFC, I think. I can't remember the exact letters right now, and exFAT. Now, I used the one that Bullet offered on their website, but that didn't work either for FAT. It only did EX. It did the same thing the memory card was done in. So I downloaded a FAT32 formatter offline for free. I used that, and that worked out fine. It got the new Wi-Fi into the system, which goes on the memory card, by the way. You put it in there, and the camera boots up, loads the new firmware. Take the memory card back out, and you delete it. There's a video on YouTube for that. But make sure it's formatted in FAT32. Otherwise, it will not take the update. Alright, well, this is Moose out. I hope to have some footage from this camera again real soon, so we can actually see how it works going down the road. Like I said yesterday, I did one. It was an epic fail, and then I accidentally deleted my footage off the GoPro at the same time, so I have no video at all from it. But those are the breaks. Alright, this is Moose, and you all have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.